EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Rodgers' Packers going up against Flacco's Ravens. With that, let's get you on up to Baltimore as we welcome in our commentary team of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Green Bay Packers and the Baltimore Ravens. So the D-line's going to spread out. On first down, Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. Give him 8 on the play, and it's a second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The first carry now. This is Lacy. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. He's just happy they didn't take him down by his dreadlocks there because that happened in week 3 of the preseason against San Francisco, and afterwards he said, it hurt. I might cut this before the season starts.
Tells you the different things you have to contemplate, right? And probably a great problem to have for him because previously, if the Packers asked him to cut weight, and that was a big issue.
And that's caught inside the 30. A pickup there of 36. And the Packers are going to have a first down.
Of course we think of Aaron Rodgers as a pocket passer, but you and I both know this guy's a pure athlete. He can get outside and make plays with his legs as well.
Showed it right there outside of the pocket and on the money. On the ground, this is Lacy. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And for this offensive unit, Eddie Lacy, sometimes he even has the Auburn fans saying roll tide.
Now that's big right there because for them to say that, wow, that tells you how good a talent he really is. When he gets rumbling, the field tilts in his favor.
Maybe I overstepped my bounds there a bit, but he's good.
Brandon, you never want to get in the middle of Alabama versus Auburn.
And a good little broken tackle run there for the former second-round pick, Eddie Lacy.
He's a big back, and he runs with some power and definitely with some physicality. And enough of those types of runs, as they accumulate, they turn into bigger runs later because after a while, guys don't want to deal with him.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make this a second down. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
C.J. Mosley's your prototypical Alabama linebacker. They'll come downhill and smack you, but they understand the game so well.
On second down, Lacy. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Finding time. Great protection. Just keeping the play alive. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the longtime Charger, Eric Weddle. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Eric Weddle's one of my favorite players in the league, Brandon. A guy that always seems to be in the right place at the right time, making a play on the football. And he has excellent hands, as we just saw there.
Now Flacco going to give to his fullback, Juszczyk. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Time to meet the offensive starters, and time for us to introduce you. You already know him, but Justin Forsett.
His face goes on the poster of those who just need an opportunity. A backup for much of his career. Once he received the chance to be a #1 runner, he's taken it and moved on fast.
Second down, Flacco now. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
1st and 10 here for Flacco. And Steve Smith hauls it in. So Steve Smith involved there, and the Ravens are likely, Charles, going to need him to get even more involved with Ben Watson out for the season now.
And normally when you have a guy who announced that a season was going to be his last, as Steve Smith did in 2015, when you have that guy come back, you don't expect big-time production, but you and I both know that Steve Smith is the exception to that. So I agree with you. His production will go up, and he will definitely take some of the pressure off of the loss of Benjamin Watson.
Here's Justin Forsett, his first carry. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And if you're John Harbaugh, you've got to be happy with your depth at running back, that's for sure. Meanwhile, if you're a fantasy football player, it might drive you crazy trying to figure out who's going to get these reps.
Well, Justin Forsett wants all of his reps back. Remember, he got hurt in 2015 and didn't finish out the season, and he'd been a big-time performer previously. And Buck Allen, Javorius Buck Allen out of USC, had a pretty nice rookie season. I know that they're really, really high on Kenneth Dixon, but he's hurt and going to miss about a month. And Terrence West has had a nice preseason, although we haven't talked about it very much.
Here's Flacco. Allen here on the screen. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Well, still in search of the first down after that last completion. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Flacco will use the arm this time. Over the middle to Smith. And he's brought down. 12 yards on the pickup. And it'll give the Ravens a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
30 yards on the pickup there. And the Ravens are going to have a first and goal.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll try to run with Forsett. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get them in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Passing play. Flacco. They'll set up the screen for Forsett. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, Flacco off to the sidelines. He gives way to Justin Tucker. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. We're back to Baltimore after this. Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Now the Packers get set to go. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
13 yards there on the pickup, and it'll give the Packers a first down. On first down, Rodgers escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bad.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And hauled in by Pitta. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
First down, Flacco. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's brought down after a good gain. They get 25 yards out of that one. And that'll be good for Baltimore first. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Throwing here on first down, Flacco. Now they go screen, it's complete. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. And now they're in the hurry-up. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So 2nd and 8 here after the penalty. Second down, Flacco now. And they can run it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw. Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there, it's good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So that scores now in their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Second down following the run. They come up in an offset eye. On second down, Flacco to throw. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Setting up to throw, Flacco. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Flacco gives to Forsett. It's a pickup of 19. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And it's 1st and goal now, but still 10 yards to go. Now Allen, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Buck Allen, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Rodgers with a give. It's Lacy. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
The best defensive linemen They play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands so they can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And incomplete here on third down. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it'll be fourth down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on fourth down and 9. Here we go on fourth down with Rodgers. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Ravens get the...
Babe, show me what you like. Hey, I put money, I can match it for ya. I'm in this all white fit, looking like a brick and all them zippers on a jacket on ya. He got a thing for a Latin. He wanna hear a little Spanish in it. I told him it ain't practice it. I'm about to fill you up with Spanish. Rock up with the click and I ain't looking like the side in this. I'm the opposite cause I'm the main event and boxing in it. As the time been ticking, I've been out here playing my position. I'm about to get it now. Ain't no one about to block the hit. Cause someday, something coming on.